Welcome to the Joy Cometh broadcast. It is a journey process. Yes, indeed, it is a journey process. Now, I'm excited about today's broadcast. Amen. Now, on the last broadcast, I talked to you about the realities of grief. There are certain realities that comes with grief. You can't get around it. And so we have to face the realities that comes with grief. But on today's show, I want to talk to you, as I shared with you, about the different faces of grief. But I want you to remember this, that grief is the emotional response to a loss. I'm going to say that again. Grief is the emotional response to a loss. So it's natural or normal. So what you have to understand, it's a normal response. What you are feeling is natural, normal. It is the emotional response to a loss. So grief itself brings on a range of emotions that we all must face as we navigate through this grieving process. There's a range of emotions that we deal with while we are grieving. So here are some of the faces of grief. The first one is pain. I can remember the children looking at me and they said they had never seen that much pain. They could see it in my eyes. That was one of the faces of grief that I was dealing with. The next one is panic. Depression, feelings of guilt, fear, even fear about the future, anxiety and stress, denial, numbness, having feelings of regret, anger, sadness, feelings of rage, jealousy, disorganization, even feelings of loneliness, moodiness, confusion, rejection, outbursts. I had my share of outbursts. Could happen at any moment or any time. Feelings of hopelessness, disbelief, disappointment, despair, betrayal, even feelings of abandonment, bitterness, shock, relief, crying, and last of all, that empty feeling, emptiness. So you can see that grief can bring on a range of emotions. I had so many emotions that I was dealing with during my grieving process. But it's normal. There are times I was angry. At times I was confused, moments of sadness, just break down crying. It didn't matter whether I was at home, at the office. There were times in service, just had a breakdown moment. So I know what it means, these different faces. So you're dealing with a range of emotions while you're going through the grieving process. But I want you to understand that it's natural and it's normal. So hear me good when I say this. You can't suppress these emotions, but you must address these emotions. What we decided to do as a family was that we was going to be transparent with each other about our emotions. In the beginning, it was an everyday conversation. We would get on a conference call and we would just express what we were feeling at the moment. Sometimes it was anger, sadness. I had crying moments together, depression, confusion. There's several things, but we talked through every emotion that we was feeling. We decided we were going to be very transparent. We even had times where we were interviewed by different stations and we were transparent with them, the public, concerning our emotions. I was very transparent when I stood before the congregations and expressed myself. I was being transparent concerning my emotions. And I want you to understand this. And then it went on where we start talking maybe every week, and then it progressed from there. Now, what was happening at this time? And this is what I want to deal with. You see, when you are addressing these emotions, you are having your moments of release, which is necessary for your healing. When we were talking through these emotions that we were dealing with, when we were public, even when we were interviewed through the paper and different times that we spoke publicly, privately, we were having our moments of release. And like I said in the beginning, it was every day. And then we would talk, throughout, we started meeting together weekly. And then it just progressed from there. You have to have those moments of release, which is necessary for your healing. Remember this. I shared this in the last broadcast. You can't heal what you don't feel. So we weren't trying to avoid these emotions, these different phases of grief, but we were addressing each one of them. So we were having our moments of release, which led to our healing process. So here it is. Listen to me. You must give yourself permission to grieve, because it is a journey process. You have to start the journey by giving yourself permission to grieve. Now, with that being said, I want to introduce you to my book. I decided to, after experiencing what I was experiencing, and it was during the pandemic time, and so many other people I knew was going through the same thing that I was going through, I decided to write a book on my personal story, how I went from grief to gratitude, trusting God through the grieving process. And I entitled the book The Unexpected Journey, because I never expected to be walking through this time, or that time, in my life, after the loss of my late wife. And so I want to share this book with you. It has helped so many. The book is only $15. And at the end of the broadcast, there'll be information that will flash on the screen of how you can reach out to me. And all you have to do is reach out to me and we will get this book out to you, The Unexpected Journey. I've had so many positive reports that have come as a result of this. I've traveled in-state, out of state. So many people have been blessed through this book. So now on the next broadcast, I'm going to deal with grief as it relates to one's mental health. Whether you believe it or not, we have a mental health crisis going on in our nation today. So I want you to stay tuned to the next broadcast. And I want to thank you for tuning in to the Joy Cometh broadcast on today. And remember, joy. Be blessed.